Hey, good morning. Welcome back to the series of Walking After a Heart Attack. Me documenting my journey as I go. We're going to be covering some of the struggles along the way. My name's Jeff. If you haven't been here before, welcome to Just for Fun Outdoors. Today's video, I'm going to cover overcoming the first steps. Okay. I have some cue cards here so I don't get too off track. All right, physical limitations. You're going to be fatigued, short of breath, dizziness. I'm sure some of you that are right out of surgery, maybe just had your heart attack and now you're starting your recovery. You're going to feel worn out, you're going to feel fatigued, tired. Your blood flow may be off, so you're going to be a little dizzy. Make sure you get your blood pressure regulated. It's very important. Listen to your body. If it's not feeling right, pay attention. Don't miss any signs, any cues. You're going to need to follow your doctor's advice. If they tell you, hey, I need you to get up and move, you got to get up and move. If they say, hey, you can't pick up 5 pounds, don't pick up 5 pounds. It's pretty simple. You're going to start, if you're walking for your heart health, we're going to want you to start with short walks. Don't do anything major. Don't go trying to run the Boston Marathon when you can't even walk from the couch to the bathroom. If that's the distance you can walk, then that's what you walk. Make your first goal. All right, I'm going to walk from the couch to the kitchen today, or I'm going to go out to the mailbox today. Whatever seems to be suitable for what your current circumstances are. So, topic number 2 I want to talk about is mental and emotional barriers. So, first off, you're going to have some anxiety, probably, most likely, that if I go and I walk or I start moving, because sitting here I feel like I can't do any of that, and you go out and you start walking or something, you're going to feel like I'm going to trigger another event. That's common, folks, that you feel that way. It's okay that you feel that way. I mean, you just had a major event. One of the primary organ in your body that keeps you going, the motor, so to speak, just had a giant hiccup, for lack of better words. So of course, those fears are going to be normal. You're going to be feeling a little defeated, lesser of a person maybe. Like, what's going to happen in the future? Is this how I'm going to be for the rest of my life? Do I have to live this way? Am I not going to be able to do things again? Am I not going to be able to live a normal life? Well, I'm here to say that I'm pretty optimistic, and I think that you can get back to a new normal. Not necessarily 100% of who you used to be. I've owned that fact. I'm not 100% the same guy I was the day before my heart attack. But I'm going to do everything I can to be that guy. You really need to set up an emotional support system, whether it's family, friends, a counselor, therapist, whatever you want to call them today. Have a good support group. Find a community. Hey, we'll try and create one here, all in the comments section. Get to somebody that understands. You're not broken. You're healing. It's your body's a machine and it needs to function properly. So do what you can to make it heal. Well, my first steps were, I got to get moving. I got to change my diet. I got to get my mind right. You're going to need, topic number 3 here, some motivation and isolation here. So, lack of drive. Let me bring this down so you guys can see the scenery a little bit. The lack of drive that you're going to have because you're feeling defeated, right? So you're not motivated to move. What good is it going to do me? Those feelings are natural. You're going to feel that way. But you got to push through it. You've got to walk right through it. You've got to push through it. You got to get up and you got to move. Trying to compare your past limitations with your current limitations, you're going to go stir crazy. Don't do it. Yesterday is yesterday. Today is today. There's nothing you can do to change yesterday or anything that's happened, said, or done. So worry about today. What can I do today? And what am I going to be looking forward to doing tomorrow? This is where role of your community and setting goals is going to be a key player. Community is your support system. Other folks in a similar boat as you. Setting goals. I invite you to give yourself a 1-minute challenge. If you can't walk continuously for 1 minute, start taking some small steps until you can walk for a minute. Once you reach that 1 minute, set a new goal. Make it 2. 2 turns into 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 10, etc. So, walking is a lifeline for you. Your routine will ultimately become your motivation, because as you do this every day or every other day, whatever goal you set, I set every day. That's my goal. I have to walk daily. Or I did it again. I forgot to set my outdoor walk thing. Set your goal. Okay? Your routine will be motivation, because once you can do a little bit and then a little bit more, you get motivated to do a little bit more than just a little bit more. It's real, people. 4th thing I want to mention to you is how practical your first steps are. So I suggest that you get some way to track how you're doing things. Sports watch or a journal, some way to use your phone. If you got a phone, everybody has a cell phone now. It will track how many steps you took. Just make sure, just make sure that you have that feature turned on your phone. If you have an iPhone, it'll do it. I don't know about the other ones. Use that, track your progress. How many steps did I do today? Well, if I did 500 steps today, my goal tomorrow is 600. and keep moving on like that. Little increments. Small increments will be big gains. Make sure that when you're walking, that you're in a safe environment. If you need something to steady yourself, don't go out and walk a mile down the road. Unless you have a walker or something, make sure you're on flat ground. Make sure you have somewhere where that you can set. Make sure if you have a tendency to fall, you have somewhere that you can fall to without getting hurt. You know, those kind of things, folks. Use, just walk around sense. Make your environment safe for you. And again, a good pair of shoes makes all the difference if you're outside walking or if you're on a treadmill, if that's what you got. I'm not telling you to go buy those $500 pair of running shoes. We can't all afford those. I know I can't. I've been through all kinds of shoes. I've worn New Balance. I've worn, Skechers. I've worn Brooks. I'm currently in a pair of Hokas. And so far for me, the Hokas have been probably the best shoe I've had for walking. And if you take the shoes off, these Hokas, not sponsored by any way, guys, I'm just telling you what I got. I take these off and I put on a pair of Sperry's, for instance. A pair of deck shoes, boat shoes, whatever you want to call them. My word, is there just a mountain of difference, in support. So a good pair of shoes will go a long way, pun intended. All right. So now I'm going to close this short video out. It's not very long today. I'm going to film a couple of these, I think, in this little walk of mine. But I want you to know the first step is the hardest. Because in that moment of time, you are so unsure that you're going to be able to do anything. You don't know. You feel horrible. Your chest is still hurting. You're having angina regularly. You're getting headaches from the medication, whatever the case may be. And you're like, I absolutely can't do this. I can't even get out of bed and walk to the recliner. Can't walk to the bathroom. That first step is so important. It's going to be your hardest. But once you take that first step, it's going to open worlds for you. Because that first step is so powerful. It's unbelievable. And you won't recognize that until you're down the road a little ways. So I urge you, please take that first step. Start walking. And again, guys, I'm not a doctor. Don't go against your doctor's advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a nutrition. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not an exercise physiologist. None of that stuff. I'm just average Joe who's had 2 cardiac events in a 6-month period. He's changing his lifestyles, and I'm just trying to document it, and maybe somebody will get a little benefit out of it. So, in closing, I'd like to say, if you've made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. Please drop a like, subscribe if you want, so you can get notified of future videos. But I'd like to hear from you. I want to hear how you felt after you took those first steps your very first step after your cardiac event, surgery, recovery, whatever you want to call it, whatever stage you're at. How did you feel after that very first step? Drop a comment below. Let's get that conversation started. I'll do the best I can to answer everyone's comments. And I may not answer them individually. I may answer 2 or 3 of them in a single comment to reply back to them, but I will address as much as I possibly can. And again, if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. Let's keep going. I'm gonna have at least 6 or 7 of these coming up. It won't be every day, maybe once a week, once every week and a half or so. And I hope you come along for the journey. Be safe. I hope you heal well. We'll see you on the next one.